Hey YouTube, I'm making this video kind of late, but I just needed to make this because the last couple days, I've seen headlines, Obama supports gay marriage, and, some people like praising him for it, and at the same time, people are booing him for it, and I'm against both. Here's why. Because, yeah, congratulations, we have a presidential, or a sitting president who says he supports, gay people being allowed to be unionized. Congratulations, Obama, you made history. Problem I have with you, President Obama, is the fact that you were so iffy, so wishy-washy about this thing the whole, like, for the last 3 or 4 years now, and now you're finally made a decision. Well, congratulations on making your decision, and shame on you for not coming out with your real support. I'm definitely disappointed with the people on the right, the right-wing conservatives, Christian conservatives and stuff like that, because, in all honesty, they want to quote-unquote protect the sanctity of marriage. Yet, and also you got some, actually quite a few radical people basically saying, the right saying that, the biggest threat to marriage right now is gay marriage. And I'm sorry, you're full of crap, and that's a whole bunch of homophobic BS right there. The biggest threat to a person's marriage isn't gay people getting married. The biggest threat to a person's marriage is the lust of the eye, lusting after someone else instead of your own partner. Actually, adultery, you cheating on your spouse with someone else, you having either a physical affair or a internal affair right here, and falling for someone else. Pornography, anything that's pornography. Another threat to marriage is your own selfish behavior. When you put like a personal hobby over your spouse, that's a threat to marriage. When you're always off doing your own thing and forgetting, neglecting your significant other, that's another threat to marriage. Let's see what else. A job could be a threat to marriage. Let's see. Friends can be a threat to marriage. I mean, if your significant other has like someone of the opposite gender that's kind of starting to fall from, and they actually get to the point where they don't even respect the fact that he or she is married, that can be a problem too. Platonic friends. I mean, danger is always out there. I mean, hell, TV could be the cause of a divorce. I mean, because they have an advertisement for, you know, swingers dating website. I mean, those are the real threats to marriage. A person's marriage, not gay marriage. And shame on all you guys who basically say, "Oh, gay marriage is the biggest threat to marriage." No, actually, I'll go you one better. TMZ. Actually, another big threat to marriage is how people live their lives. I mean, how people live out their marriages, rush into a marriage, oh, I'm in love, I'm infatuated with this person, rush into a marriage, and and the next thing you know, a couple months later, they're divorced. And I'm pointing fingers at you, Kim Kardashian. May not be married, but people who want to, go, attack gay people for wanting to have a legalized contract, being able to divide property, to be able to get marital benefits, medical benefits, social contract benefits, and stuff like that. Those people right there, they're not the bad guy. Uh, and I'm also looking at you, Britney Spears. I mean, you're the worst example of them all. Actually, by the way, I've never heard Kim Kardashian or Britney Spears ever support or not support gay marriage, and I don't really care. To me, they're the worst examples of married couples right there. Kim Kardashian, three months married. Boom. Going through a very nasty divorce. Britney Spears, married one day. One. Oh no. One day. Then, also another threat, surprisingly, are pastors. And I like pointing fingers at them a little bit because, a lot of times they're on the pulpit telling, preaching, very powerful condemnation messages and stuff like that. And next thing you know, yet they're not living themselves. Next thing you know, they're busted publicly for it. And I want to say, ha, I told you so. Part of me wants to say, ha, I told you so, or ha, I knew it. But part of me it breaks my heart. But anyway, um, some of these TV pastors are like, we must defend marriage, the sanctity of marriage against homosexuals. Yet, some well-known, powerful pastors divorced in the middle of their own ministry too. By all means, let's see. Let's point some fingers. Benny Hinn, prime example right there. He went publicly saying, "Oh, my wife left me for non-biblical reasons." Okay, why'd she leave you? Obviously, there's trouble in your own home, and you didn't address it, and even more importantly, you're still not addressing it, and you're still out of ministry. That scares me. That you can go around telling people how to live their lives, pastor to be a pastor to your staff, tell people what to do, on a spiritual basis. Yet you didn't take care of your very first ministry, and that's your own home. Shame on you, Benny Hinn. Shame on you for telling me, for trying to give, marriage advice on TV, and what marriage means all over TBN, and all any other stations that broadcast your stuff. Yet, yet you're one of the people who goes against gay people having a legalized contract, which is the marriage aspect, or which is what they're really fighting for when they say gay marriage or marriage equality. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's see who. Paula White, another prime example. That woman is crazier than anything else. Oh man, that woman. Oh. Yeah, that woman basically is still the head of her own ministry, yet her and her husband basically split up. And there's even rumors that her and Benny Hinn had an affair. I don't know if that's true. I don't really care. But the fact is, she's divorced and she's telling people, gay marriage is the biggest threat to marriage. Then you got Rush Limbaugh, who, right-wing conservative person who, went on his TV show, went on his, not TV show, his radio show going, I mind my own business, and then I have to hear President Obama supporting gay marriage. Now I have to defend marriage. I mind my own business, and I have to defend marriage. Rush, you have no business defending marriage, especially 3 times divorced, 4th marriage. 4th. Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich, honestly, every single time I heard him in the presidential campaign, talking about the sanctity of marriage and stuff like that, the whole entire time I'm just like laughing at him, just going, oh, this is coming from the guy who's been divorced 3 times again, 3 times married, and one of those times he cheated on his cancer freaking wife while giving Bill Clinton a hell of a time for cheating on Hillary. Does anyone smell BS there? Yeah, I smell BS. Yep. Yeah, you should call yourself Pig Gingrich, basically. Pig Gingrich, not Newt Gingrich. Pig, especially when, how fat you are with roasted apple in your mouth. So, yeah. Anyways, now let's get into what marriage is actually about. There's 2 definitions of marriage. One is the spiritual union between 2 people, where you go to the, pastor or justice of the peace, and, they have the Bible in their hand and say, do you take so-and-so, do you take so-and-so, or any religious leader basically says, you take so-and-so, take so-and-so, okay, by the power invested in me, by the state, keyword, pay attention to that, by this, by the state of whatever, and by whatever God I serve, I pronounce you man and wife. Pay attention to that part. By the power invested in me by the state. Do you know why they have to say that? Because they have to have the ability or permission from the federal government to grant them a marriage license and a marriage contract. Hold on to the marriage contract part, because that's the second meaning of marriage. You got your spiritual union, which, by the way, homosexuals can do. They can still get, spiritual union, they can have a spiritual union under the eyes of God, because of the protection of the First Amendment, which states freedom of religion, the freedom of religion, which marriage is a religious act. So the federal government can't stop people from having a marriage ceremony, but they can stop. But due to the fact that they have a commerce clause and the government offers a service of marriage, providing you with a marriage contract, saying that you guys are now you guys are both entitled to both you guys are entitled to 50% of the debt. You each own 50% of your household, everything in it, the appliances, everything else. That's what a marriage contract is. Now, see, the gay people can actually do the spiritual union part, and also, they can do the gay marriage, or they can do the spiritual union part, but they don't have the right to have a contract stating that having their property, separated, leaving their estate to their loved one, or leaving their estate to their loved one, or in emergency situations, have the other by a government contract, having the person, having their significant spouse basically be in charge of the medical stuff and all the paperwork and all the other stuff, all the legal paperwork and stuff that goes behind it. So they're fined for medical benefits, they're fined for being able to divide their property, and even more importantly, they just want to just be together. They're already allowed to live together. They're already allowed to have a spiritual union, but they want to be able to own a house together. They want to be able to have their names right beside each other on a ton of different things. Yeah, you can say that there's a civil contract that basically allows them to do that, but a civil union contract and a marriage contract are two different things. Well, they're pretty similar, but civil contracts don't give what marriage contracts don't give out, and that's what they're really fighting for. Now, if gay marriage was to be legalized, and I'm pretty sure it will be pretty soon, I wouldn't, me personally, I would not allow, I would not, if they wanted to get married at a church and the pastor says no, I wouldn't force the pastor to marry them, because pastors are protected by the First Amendment too. So, in short, basically, Christian conservatives, shut the fuck up. And don't say, and quit complaining about Obama defending, supporting gay marriage. He's only supporting a contract aspect of it. Whether he supports the spiritual union part, I can care less. But you really want to defend marriage? For anyone who wants to quote-unquote defend marriage and handle that stuff, here's the first thing you should do. Live it. Show me what the perfect marriage is. Show me what... Actually, I'll go you one. I'll go easier on you. Show me what a good marriage is. Just show me what marriage is supposed to be. Just point a direction. Just point a direction. Your grandpa, your parents, aunts, uncles, your best friend's parents. I can care less. And you promote that. And you get other people who believe the same things you do, promote the same thing. Live it out before you tell anyone else how to live, or how to live, and how to live their marriage and whatnot. Live it before you preach it. And even more importantly, if you're going to represent any god or anything, you're going to force your beliefs on someone else, whether it's their right to have a civil contract or spiritual union ceremony. You guys forgot the words of Jesus himself. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. And I'm taking that from the parable where basically Jesus and the young ruler were heading somewhere, and the parable, the guy was like, "Hey, Jesus, what do we do? I followed the Ten Commandments all my life. I followed, I obeyed all of God's laws. What do I have to do to receive eternal life?" He said, "Sell all your stuff, give it to the poor, and come and follow me." And the guy's like, "No, I don't want to." Jesus didn't go around saying, "Follow me, follow me, follow me." No, he said, it's easier for a rich guy, or it's easier for a camel to go through the needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. And it's like, I look at that and I'm like, Jesus never forced anyone to live by a certain law or pressured them into it. And yet, most Christian conservatives are going around going, "This is what marriage is! Listen, you sinful person!" Yeah, most of them are not even married. Most of them don't even have an idea of marriage. But even more importantly, the ones who are married are usually having tons of marital issues as it is, and don't even know the first thing about Christ, and that was love. So, live it. Live it. Just live it before you preach it. Anyways, hopefully I give you something educational to think about. So, anyways, God bless y'all.